Hello, 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 hello. Welcome back to another episode of Spooked Coast to Coast, everyone. First of all, major congratulations to Joy and Joey. They moved back into their dream home.
Gorgeous.
Nice fireplace, beautiful piano.
Congratulations, you guys. I know it's been a rough year, but you were able to get your finances back to move back into your dream home.
That's right.
That's awesome. I'm super happy for you guys.
It's the metaverse home.
Yeah.
The AI commitment. Yes. So we're Joy and Joey, JJ Paranormal, and we are Jen and Mondo 305 Paranormal. And thank you guys for joining us. We are halfway through the month of December.
Can't believe it.
Third week. And after today, guys, it's 2 more weeks left for the end of the year, and that's it. We've already had done 1 full year with you guys. So I'm happy about reaching that milestone. Shout out to Cheedy, Jesse.
What's up?
Thank you, everybody. And as you guys trickle in, make sure you say what's up in the chat, and also make sure you throw up that thumbs up. Show the 4 of us the appreciation. And babe, so tell us about our guest that we have coming on today with us.
Yes. So we have Emilie Muñiz, professional tarot reader for over 2 decades. Also practices other methods of divination like Puerto Rican coffee readings, which I'm interested in hearing about that. Oracle card readings, Espiritismo, and Lenormand. So she is the creator of the Simplicity Tarot deck, which it's mass published now. So I've even seen it in crystal shops that we go to and stuff, and I think maybe bookstores. We'll find out. And her latest deck, which she just created, is Simplicity Lenormand. It's this deck right here. Beautiful. I love it. It's my first Lenormand, probably my only. And
nice box too.
I love it. I love the whole process. We're gonna welcome Emilie.
Hola.
Emilie, welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me. Hi.
Oh, thank you for being here.
Yes, thank you.
We got some other folks. Rob Abbott, welcome. I haven't seen you before, but welcome to the show. Definitely appreciate you. And who's that? Browndorf, welcome.
Welcome.
One thing I definitely wanted to, it kind of sparked into my mind immediately as Jenny was saying it. So Puerto Rican coffee cup. I mean, I don't know much about that. I'm Cuban, and I know we just do that, whip it, and and we go. But
yeah, that's the
I want to hear about this reading.
Hey, Jess.
Yeah.
What's up, Black Smoke? Well,
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Steve, what's up?
Hi.
Oh my God, see? Oh, it's Facebook people. Hi, Facebook people.
Hi,
Hey,
Facebook.
Facebook.
Oh, is it Papa?
Facebook, yeah.
We got Yvette.
Who?
Mela knows a thing or two about the Cuban whip.
Yeah, for real. All right.
And it only works clockwise, guys. If you do it
See, I don't even know about that. See, I don't
That's
know.
bullshit.
No, hey,
I make coffee in my job. That does not work like that.
it's gotta be clockwise. Mela will tell it, and she'll vouch for me.
I don't think so. I'm gonna watch her.
All right.
So, but before we get to the Puerto Rican coffee cup readings, tell us how you started in divination. Was tarot your first, or how?
That's actually the story. Is with the taza de café. That's the story.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Go ahead.
That's the story. So my mom, she's been, into Espiritismo, a little bit of everything, right? Let's just put it like that so everyone can understand. So she always had Espiritistas, how you say that? Spiritualists? That's the proper way to say it. Come to the house and they would read her coffee, right? So it was a normal thing of how I grew up. So she always had her readings in the kitchen, getting her coffee read. And then one day the lady was like, how about you come and tell me what, you see in the cup? And I was like, me? I was like, me? She goes, yeah, just tell me what you see. So I read the cup and I was accurate. And it was like, forget it, changed my whole life. And I was like, okay, let's see how deep the rabbit hole goes. And I got fascinated with divination. And that's it. Then I started tarot, but tarot was not my first method of divination. I also used to read with like roses. Like I would extract the ink of the roses and then put it in like hot water and then read the images, you know, in water and scrying like that. So yeah, it wasn't really tarot, even though that's became the love of my life right now, but it wasn't. It was coffee.
Wow, that's cool. I've never heard of. Well, like I was mentioning, I never heard of the Puerto Rican coffee.
So
the flower petals, I've never heard of that before either. That's cool.
Yeah.
Water scrying?
Huh?
That was for water scrying?
Yes, you can actually, you take all the roses, right? And you can, you know, you take the extract after like stuffing them and pounding them. And then you will put like Florida water, whatever kind of colonia that you have, and you let it sit there for a while. And what happens? You get the red ink, right? Not for a while, like days. I mean, maybe a few weeks. And then you get the red ink from it. And then you take that, because it's become the extract, and then you put that in hot water, and then images will form like ink.
That's cool.
That's very interesting. That's actually
I've had some crazy experiences when I was younger. Like once I was like doing a reading and I did it, and then I saw like a muerto, like a death, like a skull, and I was like, oh, he's gonna break up with me. And then like I was like a teenager, and then I heard a knock on the door. The guy was like, I gotta tell you something.
Damn,
that's so it's like I had a lot of like intense connections and experiences with divination, but the coffee cup was the most interesting one because when I was taught it, I thought it was normal. I thought everybody did it, right? Because you're young. I started like, I think it was like 11, maybe 10, something around that age. I was very impressionable, and the way we read coffee. This is why I say Puerto Rican coffee cup, the way I was taught. So you take a little, it's like a whole experience. Probably like what you were saying, right? So you take the coffee, right? You first put, you first have to strain it with the sock. You remember the sock?
Yeah.
And you have to boil the coffee, and then you strain it in the sock, and then you put a little bit of that coffee in the coffee cup, and you take a lot of sugar and stir it. Right, so in the bottom, now you're gonna have like kind of the grains in there. It's just gonna happen, and you keep drinking. When you're drinking, you think about what you want to be read in your life, anything that you want. Then you stir it 3 times and make a wish. I think that was maybe something like you were saying. You make a wish and you drink, and you leave a little bit of sugar at the bottom, and then you turn on the stove. It has to be a lit burning stove, and you turn the coffee mug on the stove, and then images form in the cup. You take that out, and then you read it.
Wow.
See, I didn't know it like that, because I know
people just like they don't burn the images. We burn the coffee with the sugar, and you get the images.
Yo, that is sick. Now I'm kind of like in awe right now.
It's interesting, but now people don't have like stoves like that, maybe like in Cuba and stuff. But here, everyone has like electric stoves and stuff. So it's hard for me to do it, you know, these days. It's something that is starting to disappear, and not a lot of people know of it, know how to do it. But that was my first introduction to divination. That's how I first started reading. So yeah.
Have you ever done tea leaf readings?
I have, but I'm not really, I can't connect with the tea leaf. I just can't connect. My thing is coffee. So
do you think the images for tea leaf and coffee, like, are they like the same? If you would see like the same things?
I would think so, because I feel like it's all about symbolism, right? So what the images mean to you as a diviner, what are you picking up, you know, with that? Because you're just seeing an image, but I feel like it's all layered reading, right? So you first see an image, and then it's like a light bulb, something else kicks in, your intuition, and you start reading more of it, right? It's things that just a symbol. If you have a dog, oh, maybe it's someone's friend, maybe it's your dog, right? You have to use your intuition to know what that is and tell the story to the person getting the reading. But yeah, I wonder what I told that person. I know it was about their love life. the first reading. But yeah.
Oh, that's super cool. Threw me off there. Wait.
I've seen videos of it being done. I think it's really, really cool how they do it.
Yeah, I do it for some people. If I'm like, I have to go to your house, like, hey, do you have a burning stove? Is there flames? Then I can do it, right? But it's hard.
Barbecue? Will it work on a barbecue?
I don't know. I've never done it on a barbecue. You need to be able to control the
Come on,
flame.
come to the cookout. We're gonna have coffee ground readings in the back.
Ew.
You lower the flame. You gotta lower the flame, like when it's like almost nothing, so it could burn.
Yeah.
It's like a whole. You have to know how to do it. You gotta really lower the flame. You can't just.
You gotta invest in one of those little like van lifers have them. They're like little propane one burner.
I've tried even like I did with lighters. It doesn't work the same. Like
oh man, that sucks. I tried. That's cool. Yeah, I think it's really interesting. I know if I was to do it, I would just be like,
vacation shirt.
yeah, I wouldn't know how to.
Who said that?
Jesse.
Jesse.
All in the spirit.
Yeah,
It
that's so cool.
It does.
Yeah.
Hey, you know how? So, well, shit. I didn't know that was gonna be your first, so that threw me off.
Yeah,
Back here.
it really is. The coffee. I love coffee. Like, yeah.
I love coffee too. Well, you know what? And they say like that's a form of magic. If anybody wants to do like manifesting, whatever, like since maybe that's the first thing you drink in the morning, sometimes kind of like say like what you want or something you wish for, like in the morning, before like stir your coffee like maybe like 3 times or something, but like clockwise, not counterclockwise, guys.
Yeah, you go like
And
this.
then, yeah, and then
That's what we do.
drink it. Yeah, so
It's the same concept, right? So it's the same thing of how we do it. It's like, because you sit by the window, you're gossiping and all that. Come on, you're talking about everything. And then it's like, okay, now let's just focus. And you drink it slowly so you can really think about what you want and your wishes. It's like a whole experience. I was like, so when she was like, oh my God, you're right. I was like, yes, I got superpowers. I was so young. I felt like
that is awesome.
I was like, oh my God, I could do this. So it was, for me, it was just a whole thing. And it actually changed my whole life because that's all I wanted to do after that. I went to college. I got my degree in business, and they were like, oh, what did you want to do? I said, well, you said I can't be successful unless I had a passion. I want to do tarot reading, so I'm going to be a tarot reader. They laughed at me. But here I am, still in business, full-time, like 18 years. So.
Wow.
I love that.
That's great.
Yeah, it's really like the love of my life. It really is. Yeah.
Can you read for yourself? You know how some people say even for like tarot, like it's harder for them to read for themselves because of your own like conception or your bias or whatever. Like,
yeah, I mean, I could read for myself. I can't. It is harder, right? Because you have to take out. Oh my God, you're your worst critic, right? And sometimes you see what you want to see. So I try to be really like, that's it, 1 or 2 cards. That's it, Emmy. You know what that means. You know what's the hardcore. You know what it means, and then leave it alone. So it's easier for me to read for people than to read for myself. And people may think I'm crazy, but I hardly ever read for myself. Ever. I'll put a card or something. I'll ask my kids to read for me. I'd be like, okay. Draw 2 or 3 cards. Tell me what it says, and then I'll interpret it like that. But so my kids actually read for me. I know it sounds strange, but it's the way that I can separate myself a bit from the reading so I can read more accurately. So that's what I do. Yeah.
true.
Do you read for yourself, Jen?
Yeah, right. You might not like what pops up, but you gotta take it. You can't just be like, no, I'm gonna put it back. And then when the shit comes out again, you're like, okay.
Be like,
yeah. For me, when I read for myself, it's like, oh, okay. Like I get a little nervous. I'm like, I know, okay, let's do this. I get a little nervous because I know that whatever I'm gonna see, it is what it is at that point. So
yeah.
Other people
I mean,
are giving you the information than you are for yourself. That's how I feel. Yeah.
I try not, some people are so scared. Like they'll see like the death card and they're like freaking out. I've never been like that. So maybe that's why it doesn't freak me out as much or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's an example.
I know. Yeah, I don't read, but I play with it. I try. And when I did see them, I agree, Jim, because I was like, what the hell does that mean? Am I gonna die? Is somebody,
No.
Yeah.
And that's why I made Simplicity Tarot, because I used to do like a lot of readings and conventions and stuff with the creators, the publishers of different divination decks. And people will come up to us and be like, I would love to do this, but I am scared. Or a person like me can't read. It's too complicated. And I was like, so after a while, I was like, you know what? They were like, Emmy, you should make a deck. I was like, I'm going to make a deck, and I'm going, hey, Stacy, I'm going to make it simple, easy, and welcoming for people. So if they see even a card like the death card in my deck, they're like, maybe that doesn't mean something so horrible, So it's welcoming and it helps a person learn easy. And it took all that complicated symbology out the way so it can help you learn easily. Because when I first started reading tarot, it was actually the witches. That's funny. I got the deck right here. It was the witches tarot, the one from 007. And I flipped the card. And I was like, what the hell is this? What the heck does this mean? Like, it's just 4 sticks there. Like, what the hell does this mean? And I was like, well, I looked at the little book that it comes with. You remember the little white books? And I was like, there's just no way I'm going to be able to read this. But I did after a bit of time, right? And that's why I created Simplicity Tarot, so they can look at the card and be like, oh, I think I know what this means. So that's also an experience. It was a turn.
That's actually how I found you.
Really?
Like a couple years ago, I was looking for a friend of mine. He wanted a tarot deck with keywords on it.
Yeah.
So then that's what I looked up. And your deck, Simplicity Tarot, came out. I go on there and I started following, and I was like, oh, I kind of like it. I followed her. I followed you. And then I started going. I just started following you throughout the couple of years, and then that's when I found out you were going to do the Lenormand. I was like, oh, I don't have a Lenormand deck, but I was always interested in that. So I think with the keywords, that's how it started off with for me also. Like that was super important just because to remember the meanings plus like the symbolisms of the card themselves. And I can't remember a whole bunch of shit at the same time. It's just, it works,
And what really inspired the keywords, I was reading for I was like at a convention or something. Hey, Maggie. And I had one of my old decks and they saw me reading with my old decks. And I had all the keywords. I would handwrite keywords on the cards. They're like, wow, this is easy, So I would actually take each card. It was a long process, okay? And write a keyword for what it meant upright and in reverse. So stick. So yeah, it was fun. I always loved tarot, like for journaling and just to help guide me through certain things. Not only for predictions, right? But we could use it for predictions, but it helps you in a lot of other ways too. It was my best friend.
Oh, that's cool.
Do you have like what would be your best or biggest tip for people who want to start reading or to learn reading? Like now, knowing what you know now.
Well, knowing what I know now, what would be the biggest tip? I feel like the biggest tip, start with small card spreads, right? So maybe 3 cards, at least with tarot. What people's hiccup is in the beginning, they just start throwing cards and it's like, oh my God, like, of course you're going to be confused. How many cards are you throwing, right? And then also is about the question, right? So you just don't go, hey, tarot, tell me what, if you're just starting out, tell me what I need to know, right? You just don't do it like that. You will want to get to a very specific question. when you first are starting out, so you don't get lost in the sauce,
Mm.
right? So yeah, that's why what I would think is like the best way, because sometimes people don't know what kind of information they want to know, right? So just sit with it. Just sit with it, because then you, like, if you see the death card, oh my God, you know, like, what's gonna happen to me? But
Yeah.
if you ask a question, maybe about finances, right? And the death card comes out, maybe there's just a transition. Maybe there's an ending and a new beginning. Maybe you're about to get promotion. What's the card next to it, right?
Yeah.
But you're zeroing in, and you know it's just easier to read that way.
How this is a question for both you and Jen, Emily and Jen. How long did it take for you guys to memorize the definitions of them?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Bad memory.
Memorize it.
I never was memorizing. I think that's also okay. That's a good question. Because I feel like if you have to memorize, forget it, it's gonna feel like a chore. So
Yeah.
I think the easiest way to learn what each card means is to take it and sit with it, right? So we got the 5 of Cups. This is my deck. And try to understand what is going on in the picture.
Mm.
So now you don't have to memorize anything. You're trying to understand what is going on in the picture, right?
Yeah.
So she looks sad. She's dressed in black. Her head is like this. I know it's kind of blurry right now, but there's spilled cups. And I'm like, well, okay, she's probably crying over spilled milk or something like that. So I would say just take time to understand what's going on in the image, so you never have to memorize it.
I like your I like that. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, for sure. I like that. Thank you.
Yeah, because some of those decks have like sticks and stones and bow and arrows, and you're like, what is that?
Yeah.
What the heck that means? But now you're like 5 of Cups. Oh, that's that girl crying or being sad. So then maybe, and then you keep reading, and then over time, 5 of Cups. Oh, I know what that means. But you never, you know.
Yeah, he actually read, and he was actually pretty good. I was like, oh, okay, go ahead, because we were reading from our son.
Oh,
And he was like pulling up some. It was like it was connecting with him, like it was resonating with what Joey was picking up. So I was like, oh, okay, all right, go ahead.
Those are some of the most powerful.
No, listen, we're gonna start doing a TikTok. Makes the money.
When we read for our children, it's like mother's intuition, father's, and all of that kicks in. So they better watch out. Those are the most powerful readings from, you know, when we get them from our mother or father, for sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
Do you feel so you know, do you consider yourself a medium, first of all?
Yeah.
I'm a large.
You can't help it. It's there, right? It's there. I try not to do a lot of mediumship readings. They're very draining for me.
Okay.
There's a lot of, you know, spiritual cleansings and things like that you have to do. So I just prefer not to do it, because then they will always be knocking on your door, and I'm like, it's just not a practice. It's not for that.
Yeah.
Was it always like that, or like did that start more with doing divination?
Oh man, no, actually, I was a medium before I even knew what the hell was going on. I used to tell, this is a real story. I used to tell my mom, I speak to the walls. I speak to the walls, and the walls speak back to me, but nobody's there. She was like, this girl's probably crazy. But what it was my higher spirits, and it was other spirits that were talking to me. And as I grew up, then I started to understand what was going on. But I remember a lot of profound and deep conversations that like different type of spirits used to speak to me. And I could never really see them physically. But while the vibrations and them passing me information, I could tell if it was a male, female, older, younger, aggressive, or not, and what kind of spirit it was. So that was something that I always used to have. And I used to journal about it.
Nice.
I used to write in my journals about it. So I think it was something that was always there. I can't say when it started, but it was around the time I started doing divination, but probably even before that. It's very vivid memories of me talking to the walls, you know. Like, yes, I didn't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
So that was the only way my child mind could explain it, right?
Right.
Way. So yeah, I consider myself a medium, and it's just something that always been there. And yeah.
Okay.
That's cool.
Joy. No, I was waiting. I thought she was gonna say something.
No, I'm like, I don't have shit.
You talk to the wall, Joy.
I'm like, I wish I had someone else.
Now when I do mediumship readings, I don't, now I can know once a spirit is coming in, who is it, I tend to get very emotional, and I pick up like phrases, like words, or I would try to even speak like them. It's like crazy. So yes, it just takes a lot more. So I'm like, I only do it for like really, really close people, because of that. Yeah.
So you know how to turn it off and on, or like, just.
Oh no, I can turn it on and off. I definitely can, but they're just longer readings. They're just more intense too. Tarot readings, it's like, okay, what you want to know? Come on, I'm gonna tell you, like. You never know when the other spirit is coming on. You don't know what's gonna happen. You gotta do a lot of grounding, and you can't just say goodbye. Suppose they got more to say. So
Yeah.
It's different. I think it's so much more personal, and there's a lot of healing in mediumship readings too, as well.
Yeah, like how you said, like you'll get emotional. Like
I get emotional. Yeah, I get emotional. I get really emotional.
Definitely. So I know some people will say like you need, or I think it's a misconception because I think anybody can do it, but some people will be like, oh, you must be psychic to read tarot, and I would say no, but I think it helps you develop maybe clairvoyance or some type of ability that you might have already. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And figure it out.
Well, I think everybody is psychic. Everybody is psychic. Everybody. Okay. It's
Bring it out.
Sixth sense. It's intuition is another sense.
How do you open it?
It's a muscle though, right? It's a muscle. And just like you go out to the gym and to build that muscle, you got to pump some iron. Is the same thing. The more practice you do, the better you are. The more you're able to trust in it, right? So I feel like the more you trust, the more you get, right? And start doubting, you're just putting this block. But the more you do it, the more you activate it, and the more it just grows, right? So it's about harnessing that. And no, you don't have to be psychic, even though we all have a little bit of psychic ability. I have heard of people saying, I am not a psychic at all. I am just a tarot card reader. I'm like, great, because they know the cards and what it means, and that's all the information they're giving you. I'm like, well, that's great too, and they're very accurate. So,
yeah, I feel like he has. Would you say, Jen? You have.
Oh yeah,
yeah, he's definitely sensitive.
The sense of knowing.
Yeah,
he just knows.
It's a bullshit.
No, he sees like stuff. That
no, I do see stuff sometimes, but I don't know if it's just some.
And then like when we're investigating,
my mind overthinking.
Yeah, he'll pick up stuff, or like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I feel stuff too, but I'm like so blocked, I kind of just dismiss it. Him,
blocking.
Yeah.
So you do like paranormal investigations, but you don't feel that you're psychic. No. That's like the first.
I'm like this. I'm like, stop. I tell them, go stop.
That's interesting to me. That's like, I thought everybody that did paranormal investigations were psychic. Like I'm in the dark about that.
Yeah, no.
Really?
I mean, a lot of people do it because they're skeptics and they just want to maybe like disprove themselves. But I think deep down inside, the people who do that believe it. They just, I don't know.
It takes a lot. It's going to take a lot for me. Like a device going off, I get excited, but it's going to take a lot more than that for me to really believe. You know, like I believe, but I don't believe. If that makes sense.
You got to see something. It got to be something tangible, right?
Yeah, like I question: are the devices just going off?
But that's good because then you get some scientific information at the end, right? So
yeah, but I'm. It's so bad. I'm an asshole. I'm like, eh. Yeah, I'm like, I get excited, but then it's like, eh. Then I go back to the, the block mode. Him, on the other hand, he'll feel shit. Like he really gets scared.
Because I think
You
I'm
see a
over.
grown man running. This is a man.
Hearing the messages though from them. He's the one that's leading.
I speed up. I speed up my walk. I don't run.
He speed walks.
I've never been on a paranormal investigation. I always wanted to, but I'm like, there is none around me. I'm like, oh man, that's so exciting to me.
Yeah, it's boring.
It is.
Yeah, it can be because you spend a lot of
It's supposed
time.
to be encouraging me, you know, like
Sorry.
It's like because it's not like Ghost Adventures. You watch Ghost Adventures, right?
yeah, I thought it was like Ghost Adventure.
Everything is like bam, bam, bam happening, but all that you're hours filming.
They're like there for 2 days before you. Yeah, they're like, I think they rent the place 2 or 3 days, and they compile it in a 4.
Maybe you need a medium. You said you need probably a medium to spice things.
Yeah, right.
Probably, yes, I think so.
Entice.
I mean, if you go with the right people, it's fun. That's why you have to have fun while you're doing it, because it is boring. You're sitting there waiting for something to happen, you know.
For real.
So when we go, we have a lot of fun. Well, I try to make it fun. I don't know about him, but
What? I have a question about Espiritismo. Is it just like is it religion, or is it just
No,
is
it's
it
spiritual
like something
practice.
specific?
So it's spiritual practices from. So my mom, everyone asks me, "Oh, you grow up in the religion?" I was like, "My mom, very eclectic woman. We grew up right across the street from a Catholic cathedral. Like my window was here. It's right across the street." But Bushwick in the 90s, Brooklyn, everybody mixes everything with everything. That's how it was. So we're doing, Saint magic. We're doing Orisha stuff. We're just doing, she has Buddha. We're doing everything together, right? So she was really into the cleansings, the having someone come over, read for her. It was just a normal thing, right? We even wore our shirts, I remember, like backwards, to protect ourselves from like Mondale or something like that. Like it was always these things. My mom is cool though. She was the first person I ever even played a Ouija board with, right? So she just been
your mom
kind of, and she's still like that. She still she took a picture just like a statue. Look what I got. It was like Saint Barbara. Look what I got. So she believes in everything, and I'm so happy. I didn't know that she was preparing me, right? I don't think she knew either though, but yeah, I got to learn a little bit of everything because of my mom, and she's such a fun person, honestly. She's so open.
I love
she's
it.
So open.
If you guys find somewhere haunted, it could be a park. Just take her with you. I think you guys would have a blast.
She's like, tell me what you think.
Yeah, all you need is your cell phone and ask some questions.
My mom still calls me for reading, so I want to know.
Aww.
Just like you tell me with this guy. So what you think about this one? Let me know.
I love it.
So many years, I'm still doing the same thing. Like, okay, mom, I was just such a young girl. I read about her love life. Like, oh Lord, like.
I love it.
Can you tell? So with the Lenormand deck now that you did, can you explain like what is the difference between tarot and Lenormand?
All right.
Is that oracle? That's not oracle, right? That's not considered oracle.
They are oracle.
Okay.
I think the word fortune telling like throws people off. It's like a taboo, I think, to people too. It's weird, but it is. But if you think about it, tarot's a fortune telling deck too. We tell fortunes, we tell the future with it, right? We predict the future, so it's a fortune telling deck too. So there's a big difference, right? So Lenormand, first of all, it's smaller. The cards are smaller, right? They're the size of playing cards. There's only 36 cards in the Lenormand. Mine's have extra because I like to be fancy and special. But that's just me.
You're Dior. You're giving Dior.
I like adding special stuff to it. But Lenormand tarot, you could also read upright and in reverse, right? In Lenormand, you don't read reverse at all. I think the biggest difference, yes, you could use them. Can you use playing cards as well? Actually, the Lenormand
look like playing cards.
Playing card inserts at every but let's not get that. It's going to be complicated, right? So I think tarot has like deeper meanings, right? Or emotional and deeper meanings, right? So in tarot, you will read the background. Maybe the color of the clouds means something to you, right? Maybe the cups mean something. And you could just go deeper into it. With Lenormand, it's just straightforward. You're not, it's just one meaning for each card. Well, it's not one meaning. It's just straightforward. Like you see the snake. I put deceit. So the snake is deceit. That's it. And then you combine it with another card. Let's see. I'm going to make it easy for you. You read it also in combination. The shit. You think about a journey. So I think the biggest thing is that tarot, you can read one card. In Lenormand, you have to combine meanings to create
the story or whatever.
The story. To read them together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have a snake and then you have a trip, right? This card, the ship. So maybe you might feel like you're gonna go on a trip and someone's gonna lie to you, right? Or something like that.
Okay.
Oh,
A rocky relationship.
Yeah, or maybe, well, I don't know about relationship because the ship means like a journey or a trip or faraway destination, right? And that's it. You're just reading on what it means. Like the clover, you think of what?
Lucky.
Luck.
Yeah.
Luck. So now you put lucky what?
journey.
Lucky journey.
Yeah. Lucky trip, lucky journey. So that's how you get the specific information with tarot, with Lenormand. So you always read it in combos. And it's fun that way. You can get people's description, you can find things. But the thing about Lenormand is very blunt, and I feel like sometimes tarot's a little softer, right? So if you say, hey, is this gonna happen? And be like, no, right? And it gives you a description of it. So that's the biggest difference about Lenormand. Like the dog, what do you think about the dog? What does the dog mean to you? If you had one word.
Loyalty.
Friend.
Loyalty and friend, men's best friend.
Very good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he got it.
And then you put the two
no.
cards together. Well, you put the two cards together. What do you think this is speaking about?
Good luck.
A lucky friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lucky friendship.
I thought of best. I don't know. Yeah, lucky friendship or best friend or something like that.
Or best friend. Or friendship that will bloom. Yeah.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. So that's the difference with it, right? So I think some people get thrown off. They're like, oh God, we have to put cards in combination. That's too much work, but it's actually easier, I think, because you can't get stuck. And I think to circle back to your first question, these are the cards that I read with for myself the most is the Lenormand.
I'm gonna try that.
I think there's tarot. It could be a little bit more confusing with Lenormand. It's like, how you gonna go wrong? The ship means the ship. The clover means the clover. You can't,
Misconstrue
those meanings.
Yeah, I didn't know the difference until Jen told me what the difference was. I thought they were all the same thing until she's like, no. And I'm like, oh.
People like, what the F is Lenormand? I get that all the time. Like, we never heard of Lenormand before. What is
Not as popular.
Just oracle cards. I didn't know.
I've been teaching. I've been doing workshops and everything. I'm saying, I'm going to tell everybody what Lenormand is because it's so cool.
Yeah, oracle cards. I just thought oracle cards and tarot were the same, just different.
It's not the same, Stephen.
Yeah.
No, it's not the same.
Thank you, Stephen. I'm not the only one.
When I first picked up Lenormand, I was like, what is this? I got to learn a whole different divination system. Yeah. But it's easier. My kids were able to read it instantly, and they think it's fun, So anybody can read it.
You refer to divination. What is that real quick?
What happened?
Divination.
Divination?
Yeah.
The art of how would I define divination? That's a good question. I know
I'm gonna get Joey his first oracle recorded. It might be your set.
Appreciate it.
You've been using it. So I've been wondering, like,
thank you, Jess.
What is like exactly is divination? What do you?
Right, you could using, I guess, other kind of tools to find out information, right? divination tools. I don't know how to. That's the first time. I don't even know how to describe it. What would you say, Jen? What is divination?
Anything that you're using to
predict
information, like so using a pendulum that's considered divination. If you're scrying, dowsing rod, all of that is divination. Something
So
that's
like tools of the craft, like stuff you work with to
spiritually trying to get like information from higher source for answers. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
I'm gonna give him his pair. Yeah, he's gonna get the first deck.
Ooh.
We're gonna be famous on TikTok.
No.
You're good. I think you're good. I'm not even saying that to be joking. I think you're really good.
I need to reach into the Puerto Rican roots of the Taino Indians and bring us some brujeria stuff.
No, his third eye is way open, more open than mine.
It's all gifts.
Kidding, Stephen. Great. Stephen's eye. I was gonna say, you mentioned how to find something with Lenormand. So can you go into that?
That's fun, huh?
Can you go into that? Because I've tried that with tarot, but
so
talk about that.
I actually like Lenormand because it gives me more specific information on how to even describing a person. I could describe how a person is or find something. So you just ask a question, right? I mean, my kid, she's downstairs. I want her to say it. We were looking for, I lost a necklace and it was somewhere in my house. And I was like, Stella, can you take up the cards? There's me asking my daughter again. And tell me, where is this necklace of mine? And so with Lenormand, you can get very specific, right? I'm going to show you because it was mind blowing. So the card that came up was the cross. The cross is the card of burden. You think about Jesus and the cross he bared and how hard it was to drag, right? A lot of pain and suffering and grief. That's what the cross means. So when you see the cross, you're like, uh-oh. But when you're looking for something, you want to think not just about the meaning, you want to actually look at the picture of the description of the cross and how it was. You know where my chain was? In a box with freaking cross right on it. I swear to God. And we were like, so when I saw the cross on it, I was like, no. And it was right in there. It was right in there.
That's super
cool. Did you put it in there? Like, how did it get in?
I don't know. It was in there. It was definitely in there. And I was like, no way. Yeah. That's crazy. So you will want to, like, if you had the snake, right? You know how snake slithers and stuff, right? So if you like looking for something and snake comes out, well, maybe it's something that's like this. If the moon comes out, well, maybe it's somewhere in the dark, right? You would think about it's somewhere in the dark. Or if the tree comes out, maybe I have it outside. Maybe I left it in the tree or something like that, or near the tree or near the grass. So you will get more literal with the cards when you're trying to find something. And it's really cool. It's like a treasure hunt, but they're very scary, accurate. They really are. So that was a cool story, but it happened. Yeah.
Armando, hide something, and then Jen can ask the cards and put it to the test. No, I'm being serious. I want to know, like, what if it works?
Do it.
I could work because I remember I asked you one time if Joy. I had asked you if if anybody had tried asking for the missing person that we had talked about one time with tarot, and the reason why I was asking was because of that.
Tarot would be if you say, where is this person? They probably tell you what happened with the person, or
did you
tell
ever
you what's going on, right? But I think it's a little harder to get like the descriptions of stuff. You can, right? Like the King of Swords, tall man, dark hair, fair skin, right? Air sign. But with Lenormand, you could really get very, very details, like deep details, like the bear, right? So like, what kind of person am I going to meet? Blah, blah, my love life. And then you get a card like the bear that comes out. you say, oh, well, this person is probably a heavy-set person or a hairy person. You understand? Or maybe overbearing as well. So you get really, really descriptive. And that's what I like about Lenormand. It makes things a little bit more fun with the instant specifics of it. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll definitely try that. I didn't have at that time, I didn't have a Lenormand deck. I wasn't joking. I was like, I'm not gonna buy one until I get hers from Kickstarter, and I did, and it's here.
I'm so happy, thank you.
I did not.
We're gonna put it to the test. Jen will let you know what happens.
No, it's gonna be really fun. It's a little addicting too. Like I'm not gonna lie, it's addicting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just send me some money out, and then we'll figure out how I spent it.
Everywhere you're gonna have the garden, which is like social interactions, right? So
It's gonna point to me. More ghost equipment.
Stephen had asked if you investigate, but
no,
that's gonna tie into what I was gonna come up with you.
No,
now.
That's what I said. I've never even been on a paranormal investigation like ever in my life. So,
but you've had a paranormal experiences you wanted to share.
Yeah.
Man, I was telling my brother, I'm gonna tell someone all about the ghost stories. We used to have ghost friends. I know that sounds crazy, but he's like, Emilie, I know, don't you always scare the shit out of me, Emilie. I don't know, which one should I say? There's so many.
Say all of them. Say what is the scariest?
Yeah.
Let's start with that. Scary.
Yeah.
The scary.
Or something that.
That's the thing. I don't be getting scared. I be screaming at them.
Maybe one that
you can't scare me. Don't think you.
Maybe one that made you uncomfortable.
I yell back at them like, not this house.
Look, you need some of these.
I'll be cleansed out in a second. Don't try to bring that over here because you're messing with the wrong person. Like
maybe one that made you uncomfortable.
Yeah, maybe on one uncomfortable anything.
Not me. I'm like, you'll be gone in a second. But I think, you know what? Maybe when I was young, it was the most kind of frightening because me and my brother experienced it at the same time. He was going to school. He was getting up to go to school. It was like 5-something in the morning. I remember it was cold. And it was dark outside because it was like the winter. And I'm sleeping. He's getting up to go to school. He was like in junior high school. And then we hear a voice. I'm sleeping and goes, hello. Like, and it was echoing through the hallway. And then we heard a woman's shoes clop, 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 clop. And I opened up and just like froze. And then my brother rushes out the bathroom. He goes, Emilie Ann, do you hear that? Do you hear that? What the fuck? And I was like, oh my God. It was just so, and the woman's, you could hear her shoes. And I was like, that was the most frightening because we both experienced it at the same time. Yeah. And there was a lot of stuff going on in my house after that. Mm-hmm. There was like this picture that I used to have on the wall. And I would say, make it move, right? And I will always have a conversation with this boy spirit. He was a little boy. Always have conversations with him. And I think he started growing more attached to me because then I would be like, I forgot his name. Make that, picture move. And he was to go clack, 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 and then clack, 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 clack. And I don't have no trains or anything like that in my mom's house. Nothing like that. And then, the church people came and cleansed the house after a while because there's just too much stuff going on and popping up. And even my mom used to see it. But yeah, I used to always have experiences with ghosts, but I wasn't like really scared. It was just kind of fun to me. Is that weird? This is fun. Like, I think they wanted to interact with people.
Yeah.
How it was,
I don't find it scary. I'm more, because a lot of people say that, like, oh, what scared you? And I don't find, very little has scared me when it comes to that. And it's not like a badass thing, whatever. I just think it's something I've maybe been used to and I kind of figured it out already. Okay. But like the most uncomfortable for me was, and this was now as a old person I am now, But I know what it is. I know what it was at the time. Before, I didn't know when it did happen. I didn't know, but I figured it out. Was I came home from work, and I live in a townhouse. So everybody's at that time. I worked. Damn, I think I came home back at 4. So I'll come home like at 5 in the morning. I was working overnight, and so when I went upstairs, everybody's sleeping, and I first opened the door and I kind of heard like a noise back here, actually behind me. I was like, I was like, okay, whatever, ignored it. When I went upstairs, you go upstairs, there's a landing, and then you turn and you go up, and then you're on the second floor. So when I was going into my bedroom, and I was in the bedroom already, I heard like somebody like literally, and that was the first and only time I ever heard it, and that shit spooked the hell out of me. Like rush, like right behind, like right up there, and I just looked at the hallway and I said, "What the fuck?" Like, whatever you, and I don't care who was sleeping. I was like, "Bah, bah, bah, whatever you hear, you know." But what that was, it was something that was attached to an item that we had here. We had discussed about that in a previous podcast. So that didn't happen anymore. But he didn't, I guess he knew I wasn't fucking around when I heard that shit. So, it's not scary, but I didn't play that shit,
There's a common theme here, folks. The two Latin women don't mess with their houses.
Right?
Like, you ain't gonna scare me. I'm not moving out this bit. Like, no, not me. No.
I do have a question though. What if do you guys have you ever seen him like scary movie type? Have you guys seen The Sixth Sense?
Yes.
Like
I
when
have.
you see like them freshly like all disfigured or whatever.
No.
I've only seen it one time.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen it twice. BS. I seen it twice.
No, I think that would scare me if I seen.
See, I haven't seen things like that. And my grandmother used to have a house. It was a family house in Brooklyn. We had a house there. She had a house. And in the attic, she turned that into like a place where people could sleep over. It was scary. It was just a creepy place. So we're sleeping there. And I remember this. You know what? I was scared. I was scared. I was little. And then the door opens. Oh my God. I did not even want to open my eyes. I didn't want to open my eyes at all. And I was scared. I was sleeping with my sister. I was like, no. And then went, and then opened again. I was like, oh my God. And when I sat up, there was 2 little kids.
Mm-hmm.
There was 2 little kids just standing there. And I started screaming. I was like, oh my God. Like, and that's it. I was like, I never stood over ever again. Like, ever.
They look normal or do they look?
They look normal, but why were there kids there? Like,
why were there 2 of them? Like,
I don't know.
Is it The Shining? Is it the Shining movie?
I haven't seen them like creepy, like demons. Like maybe in my dreams you wake up, but not like in my face, They're like, no, I haven't seen. No. Thank God.
I wonder if
when you're sleeping, you get paralyzed and can't move. That's kind of creepy.
I wonder why you seen that one person like that, Jen. Like why she looked the way she did. Is it a fresh spirit or?
No, I feel doing this because the second person I seen that was like that, and that was the only other person that was in Gold Coast, World Museum, and that person looked burned. He looked charred. So, and then it happened to be in a medical cart. So to me, that's what happened to him. Right. And there was an explosion there. But then again, I don't know if that had to do with World War I or what. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like maybe a bomb went off or some shit. And then that's how he was. I don't know why he presented himself like to me. But the thing is, say for that, I won't say thing, that person, that spirit. We were in a car and I was standing. I don't know. I think we were setting up. We weren't even doing anything yet. And I felt like something like here. I know this is ridiculous. But when I looked, I went like that. And it was like he was looking over a bunk bed that was there. It's a bunk bed. And he was leaning over. And it was just his face. And when I looked at him, I was like, what the hell? And then I mean, that was kind of creepy. Yeah, he looks.
Yeah.
And what do you do? What do you do though? You just stood there.
And it was just.
Curse him out. I would have been cursing him out. Like,
First
I
thing
don't
you
know
do
how.
when you look
That's the thing,
at
I don't know.
no.
I said it because whoever was there, like, you know, can hear me. Especially doing paranormal investigations. If you ever see something or feel something, a lot of times you want to like not say it because you don't want people to think you're crazy or whatever, but just say it. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody else could probably have seen the same thing and they're withholding back that same scenario happening to them or whatever, or you know, it might come up later on.
Yeah,
but
just see it. If you see it, say it. That's what we adopt.
Yeah, and that to me has removed, like, I just think you're blocking yourself, kind of doubting that. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it's helped me, like, I guess, with investigating. But like,
if you see it, say it. Why? Like why? So
no, because maybe you're not the only person that sees it. So when we do events, a lot of times they're like, oh, I didn't, you know, say somebody sees something in a shadow or whatever at one of the events, and they don't want to say it because they don't want, if they're there with their friends, they don't want to look like, oh yeah, right, you know, made fun of or whatever. But maybe you're not the only person that saw it, because two of us seen the same shadow at the same time unknowingly, and they were like, yo,
yeah,
you know,
that makes sense.
People, they just get how do you call that? They feel like they're just gonna be
ridiculed.
But
isn't that why they're there for though?
Yes and no, exactly.
Yeah, but it's like school. It's like school when you're in school. Like, everybody might have the same question. Everybody's afraid to ask, and you ask, and then in silence, people are like, "Oh shit, yeah, I really need to know that." Like they were just afraid to ask.
Like a math problem or something stupid, you know, not something stupid, but like a math problem.
What happens after you discover a spirit? You just leave it there. You don't.
No, I'll try to. So in that case, I was trying to, in an EVP, which is with the voice recorder.
Oh yeah.
We try to ask, like, you know, the spirit that I just saw, you know, what's your name, or why are you here? How long you been here? You know, I don't know. Maybe it's a residual or not. You know, maybe I just picked up something that is just an energy that was there, not that I saw it. But I think it felt like it knew what the hell he was doing, because he was just like right over me.
Like that emoji negative.
I moved back.
That's why I said no. It's hey boo or peekaboo. You know, no.
It's like, dude, I'm here.
Yeah, no. I'm like, why you gotta be up, you know, my face? Like,
yeah, too close. Too close.
That happened. That's not my typical thing. So I was like, ew.
Imagine if it said boo.
Yeah, that's what he was doing. Boo.
I'll punch it.
He's like, boo. Hell yeah.
My question to Emily: if you had to read something for someone without meaning to, if I've ever read something for someone, I always actually read things without meaning to, right? So many times someone will come to me with a question, and when I draw the cards, I'm like, it's telling me something else. But I guess, like, just being the person I am, the type of reader, I don't just start offering information unless they ask about it, because you never know if the person is ready for that. They didn't even come there for that. So unless they ask me, then I will tell them.
Yeah.
Because you just don't know. They're not there for that. They want to know about money. You know, they don't want to know if someone's cheating. Like, you're not going to just put information out, you know. So yeah, all the time.
Yes, that's a good thing.
Very good question.
The thing is, I've done that. Like, say I've tried to practice, you know, I pull cards for people at night. It's just practice for me. And say with one person, same thing will come up, same theme will come up. And I'm like, I don't want to say that. Give me something else, you know. And so the last time I was like, listen, I gotta tell you something. Like, you know, this, and guess what? They needed to hear that, actually. You know, that's happening. That does happen.
See, my ass would probably say it. You know how sometimes you say shit without thinking first? I do that shit. I have a habit of doing that.
Word vomit.
I probably volunteer information. That's maybe this is why another reason I shouldn't be doing that because.
Well, some
honest.
Like, hey, you can hit by a train.
Right. Sorry.
Sorry.
Your boyfriend's cheating on you. I'm sorry to tell you that.
I think it's the way you have to kind of relate the information to. Like, if you see an accident coming, you'll be like, oh shit. Like, sometimes you're like, damn. So you'll be like, well, at the end, they'll be like, okay, is there any last message for me? So that's your door. That's your door to say something. But it's about how you relate the message. You'd be like,
Don't go out tomorrow.
For myself, I would just be careful about walking.
Right. I probably
my car is safe, making sure I drive. Not saying you're gonna get hit by a car, but you just want to be cautious about driving. And
I would say it like that. Yeah.
But some people don't. They don't care. They call themselves the brutal truth. Like,
I'm honest. I'm brutally honest, but I'll try to think about
how to
when it comes to stuff like that, I'll say it more gently. Unless I don't like you, then I'm just gonna.
People like it, like to me.
Then I'll be an ass.
All hardcore, Yeah, I don't care. Just rip the band-aid off, and you tell them. Then they're like, "Oh, I'm not." What did they say? It's not resonating with me.
Oh
yeah. I've had readings where I'm like, what?
You tell me and give me the hardcore truth. So
wait, Joy, did it not resonate with you because you didn't want to hear it, or it was just like
no, it just didn't resonate with me. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? You sure you looking at me? No, I did no, but it didn't.
It really didn't make sense. Okay.
Yeah, and it still doesn't. And that's okay, right? That doesn't mean she's the person that read my cards is a bad reader or whatever, but it's just at that moment it wasn't resonating. And
that's why I think it helps for the specific questions, right? Because most people just go, when I do fairs and stuff, just throw the cards. I'm like, what do you mean? Just give me a topic. At least give me a topic. So I can help you. This is your time. All right. I don't know what I want. Okay, so why are you here? Why are you here? Do you want to know about your year? Okay, then I can read specifically about your year. Do you want to know about finances, family? So I think it helps when you're going for my reader friends out there. Tell the person, give me a topic, give me a specific question. And then you can read into that. So it helps give the person you're reading for clarity, because maybe those cards said something, right? But they were talking about a different topic, which could be read in a whole different way. So that's a kind of a hiccup people have. But yeah, you must not be a fanatic, but pure skeptic. Okay. I'm just reading the comments.
He's talking about paranormal investigation.
Yeah.
Damn, I had a question.
But didn't you have cards read that said that you were going to be with this fine Puerto Rican?
Oh yes. Here I am.
Oh my God.
Stupid. Sorry.
That's what you said.
I see a flag in here. Hold on. It's not the Cuban flag. Wait. It's the Puerto Rican flag. That's the one.
I mean, but before I would only attract Puerto Ricans, and I'm like,
no, that's what she said. She had cards read that said that.
Shut up. I did have a tarot reading, and I said, listen, who am I gonna who's my soulmate? Who am I gonna find? Right. She was able to pull up. She said that they would probably most likely be military, which he was. They didn't say nothing about Puerto Rican, by the way.
No, I just had a card of patelon on it.
No, she popped up the card, 𝗟𝗏𝗘𝗁𝗄𝗎.
Bald guy. Bald guy with a mustache. But,
he likes to think he's 𝗟𝗏𝗘𝗁𝗄𝗎.
Oh my Lord. Emily, do you have any locations, since you've never been to a paranormal investigation, is there anywhere around you that host any?
I have been Googling. I haven't found any.
What's any?
That's impossible.
You have everything around you. You're in Brooklyn, right?
Maybe I'm looking at the wrong places, because I'm all for those things.
You're upstate now, right? You said.
Oh yeah, upstate New York.
Is it?
I mean, there's the Hinsdale.
I know in the city there's I want to go to a real one. Let's do something.
No, but upstate should have some, because you're
Buffalo and upstate over there, far up. they have
like
it. But
anywhere
I'm
you
really
go.
close to New York City, so I
feel
haven't
like
found
anywhere you go is going to have ghosts. Like it doesn't have to have a story behind it, right? Because if a ghost can travel with you home, follow you home, why does it have to? You know what I mean?
I mean,
But I think
cemeteries.
it's a story behind it makes it more spooky and interesting at a location. I think that's why. Like you want that, you know, the history, you know, the stories.
Maybe the jail.
Already feeling it.
I want to
Get there.
go at night and start trying to discover something. I don't know. I want like a real.
Yeah,
I like
they have
roaming
to have some haunted
cemeteries.
places in New York, right?
Yeah, I'm sure there
There
are.
has
Yeah,
to be. It
especially
could be
when
a
you leave,
haunted Airbnb.
especially when you leave the city. I'm sure there's like
Haunted
spots
Airbnbs.
upstate
That
that's
sounds-
like abandoned. Don't they
Yeah,
have a-
but she doesn't want to go to jail trespassing.
How about the Stanley Hotel?
Shanley Hotel.
Oh, is that up in New York?
Which one?
Yeah, the Shanley Hotel.
It is?
It's like super haunted.
Super.
And that's in New York?
I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, you can just go to any of the projects.
Those are haunted.
Those
Listen, I grew up in those projects, so you know
those
those are
hallways,
not scary to me.
the hallways and the stairs. There's a lot of death in those stairways.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. The Shanley. So the Shanley is in
I thought that was in like Colorado. Which one's in Colorado?
I have no idea.
maybe the Stanley.
You're thinking probably Stanley.
Stanley. Oh, okay. Stanley. Okay.
The Shanley Hotel. Jenny's looking it up.
I'm trying to see like what is
You can spend the
city
night.
wise. What the hell is this? Oh, Napanack.
I don't even know where that is. That's probably like further, like hours out.
You know where Napanack is?
No,
I never heard of that.
No, I don't know. Maybe.
I've heard. Didn't we have somebody on the show talking about Napanack?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Napanack is actually not that far from the Pennsylvania state line,
Okay.
like to the bottom right. I would say
Oh,
like
that's like
directly
up
south of
to-
like Albany.
Yeah, I used to live by the Pocono, so that's there's a lot of haunted stuff in Pennsylvania.
It's kind of you know I can never say this right.
Where?
Poconos?
No.
Poughkeepsie.
Poughkeepsie. Thank you.
Poughkeepsie. Yeah.
So what?
I'm gonna Google.
Super
Maybe
there.
there's not no website where everyone just says, "Hey, they're doing paranormal investigation."
Sometimes people keep it to themselves because they don't want. They're like, I don't know. They're very like keep it tight.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah. But if it's like a public,
yeah.
you can
Even
plan.
Letchworth Village. It's one of the dopest places up there too.
It's just well, that's in Jersey, I think.
What about like Rhode Island or Long Island? Aren't there like a bunch of haunted places up there?
There's a whole bunch of abandoned. There's abandoned shit over
And
there.
if you take a trip,
Amityville, I guess.
you want to go to the next
Yeah, but
state
you
over,
can't do
Pennsylvania.
anything in Amityville. Well, yeah, in Pennsylvania. If you go to Pennsylvania,
there's a
Yeah, Pennsylvania was a lot of.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Gettysburg.
New Jersey has them too, right? Don't they? New Jersey?
Yeah.
Jersey has
Just go to the East River.
No, there's whales in there now. Now it's clean.
I don't know. Oh, is it clean?
Whales in the East River, yeah.
In
Oh, they cleaned
Central Park. Go to Central Park. There's a lot of shit happening over there.
I would definitely investigate Central Park. You don't even.
Yeah, there's spots inside Central Park that are probably a little spooky. Have some spiritual.
Listen, just buy yourself a $15 K2 meter and walk around.
Just hope you don't get robbed or
No, this isn't Kentucky.
Right. But either way, Rob Abbott had mentioned Bobby Mackey's. Bobby Mackey's actually doesn't exist anymore.
No.
Well,
Well, they just
got torn down.
They torn it down, but they're going to rebuild.
Rebuilds.
Yeah.
And
Oh, wow.
Waverly Hills Sanitarium, that's also Kentucky. We've done that spot before. Pretty cool.
Oh, there's a silence.
Rolling Hills Asylum.
Rolling Hills, that's a good one. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of spots by you. If wherever in your neck of the woods, we'll let you know. We'll give you a ring.
You gotta tell me.
We'll do something.
Message.
I know we're going to.
Tell me privately exactly what area you're at, and maybe if there's because we know people that do events.
He lives in Brooklyn.
Maybe you can go to one of these events.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm that type of person. Like, oh, okay, let's go. Let's find some
I
stuff.
would, I would love for you to investigate for sure.
Yeah, it's
North-
boring, but it's fun if you're with the right people.
North Island.
I mean,
You gotta have fun because
it's interesting. I mean, I don't know.
And then it kind of, I feel like it helps too with like the investigation and then feeling more comfortable as they're getting to know your personality as you're joking. You know what I mean? If you're going to like fucking ghost adventures, show yourself. You know what I mean?
I mean, like, that's being show. Are you show yourself? How about cemeteries? You guys go to cemeteries? Is that like a thing? Is it like to?
Yeah, we do. I didn't mention it because I was like, maybe.
I'm like, see, now that's fun.
Yeah.
So you never tried that?
No, I've been to a lot of cemeteries, a lot of stuff like, but it's not like a. What the last cemetery I went? It was a bunch of people, and
yeah, that's a.
I agree, Stephen.
Right
yeah.
Yeah, well,
we went and I saw like by this. What was it? It was a mannequin. It was by someone's grave. It was like, what is that? What's the doll, Stella, that we saw that I took a picture with in the cemetery? It was like a little doll, like Night of the Living Dummy. What's those dolls called?
Oh, you're talking about like a mannequin? Like no, not a mannequin.
What is it called?
They call it a dummy, but it's not.
Ventriloquist? I mean, event. No.
Yes.
Ventriloquist.
Like one of those puppets.
Right.
Yes, it was just chilling there. I got pictures of this shit. Like it was just chilling there by the headstone. Like what the? It was so creepy.
Oh,
Where was it at? The cemetery?
Yeah, it was just sitting there. I got pictures. I got pictures, and it had like moss growing on it and stuff.
Maybe maybe some.
Wow.
Was it on a certain grave?
Yeah, it was like right by the
like the little grave, the tombstone.
Yeah, maybe somebody was a ventriloquist.
maybe.
Why would you put something like that? Ain't
You know
nothing
what?
good, nothing good is gonna come out from that.
It starts going like this, open. You hear voices coming
Now,
from
like detached, I was like, "Oh, this is the creepy."
Yeah,
Oh no!
It's like, hello.
I did not.
Hey, how you doing?
Just stood right there and did not touch that thing. It was a little man. It was a man.
You know what? All you need, like, say if you're gonna do something just like that, go to like cemeteries. What it would have been best if you had like a K2 meter, which is
Do you have one by you?
A K2, no.
I'm talking about Grace.
Oh, you know, and like a spirit box app. If she has
No,
that,
but
she's
just
good.
like an app on your phone. Yep.
Have you ever seen these on investigations?
Oh yeah.
That's
Okay.
a K2. I was saying. Yeah.
You take one of that and you would have put it next to the doll and see if there's any energy on it, and it'll light up. Like the higher it gets, basically, like the stronger energy it's emitting out.
And those are really cheap. You know.
And you can have responses just through this alone. You don't even need anything.
Just walk around, just be like, "Hey, let's see what's
Yes.
going on."
That's it.
They have more expensive versions of those, and they have the cheaper ones, but they're all the same. They do the same thing.
So what
Yeah.
they're called again? What is it
K2.
called?
A K2 meter.
Not the K2 you smoke.
Oh my God, Joey. Not that crock.
Sir.
They sell that on like smoke shops. Like
Oh shit! I got the picture, guys. You ready?
Yeah. Let me see.
Look at this shit.
Oh.
Cool.
That does.
Is
look-
it a whole?
That's really.
That's a
cool,
whole
but
body?
Scary.
That's the whole
Yeah,
body.
man.
Oh wow.
And it's just leaning there, like, "Hey, how you doing?"
yeah, really.
Maybe the guy or the girl, was it a guy? Maybe he was a ventriloquist.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
And that was his his
Oh,
dummy.
wait, there's a picture of the whole doll there. Look at his whole body.
Yeah,
Yeah. His
Just it's covered in like flowers and stuff like that.
Yeah, maybe that was his
That's
doll
not
that
flowers.
he used. He was a ventriloquist.
all you notice is a freaking head from far away. Can you imagine?
Go back and try to see.
I thought I was flipping. I was like, is there someone peeking? Because there was like,
Yeah. I can see how that would
I feel like a little. Like,
Running across the lawn like
I will kick that thing. Okay. If I saw that thing running, goodbye.
Yeah, that's creepy. Yeah.
Can I get a ride?
I go home with you.
that's him. That's
Yeah,
him.
I see it. I see it.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It's kind of cute though. I don't know. I mean,
No.
See, I mean, when you get close to it, you're like, "Oh, okay." Yeah.
Yeah.
From far away, that shit would scare the shit out of
I
me.
saw like a little head. Like I was like,
He's like, You know, you're like,
That's how you know. Me and Wu would be like, "Yo, let's take something out and go talk."
No, of course.
Joy is out there like trying to run away.
I'm like, what? No, at first I'd be like,
started taking pictures. I'm like, oh wow, this is
Joey was, you know,
Yeah,
I'm just standing there like in shock.
like
This is
like,
Joey.
if I saw the jaw move, I was like, oh.
Yo, can you imagine?
No, my first question would have been like, "Yo, tell me you took a picture of that."
Yeah,
You have to have the picture because you didn't get the image. Now you see, like, oh shoot, she's not lying. Like,
Yeah, that's crazy.
to bring it back to Lenormand and you and what you do, since you do this professionally, I saw that you opened up for readings for 2025, like an in-depth personal reading. So you want to tell us about that?
So I every year, this is a thing I do. Every year I do like 2020 New Year's readings, right? Because I feel that people think that when you do a card reading, that's it. That's your fate. That's what's gonna happen, and you can't change anything. And that is false. That's completely false. You do a reading for guidance, so you can see what the energy, what the energy is circling around that area of your life, right? And it helps with people that don't know what they want to ask, all right? Because sometimes people don't know what to ask. So it's very specific categories about your love, relationship, money, problems that you may face, things that you're going to deal with throughout the whole year. And if it doesn't vibe with you, you can have the ability to change it, right? So you're like, when you do a tarot reading, it's a snapshot of what's going on. I consider it like a Polaroid picture, right? And then you have time to change it or adjust your life. It's like, if you keep going in this direction, this is where you're headed. So it gives you like guidance to help you change things and know what's coming from you. And if you're doing things right, okay, I'm going to keep moving forward into this too, right? So yeah, I do 2025 readings, the New Year's readings. It also comes with like a candle. I do I light up a candle for someone's petition so we could kind of channel that energy. So that's what I do. Would you like to do a long distance experiment? What is that? That sounds creepy. Who's this?
One
experiment.
That's our friend Miguel. He lives in Salvador. Yeah, he probably means a long, just like a reading over the computer or something like that.
Oh yeah, all my readings are over the phone.
Doggy.
Yeah, and over video because I do readings for people all around the world. So at this point, so yeah, it's not an experiment. Energy flows. We all connected to energy, right? So it is possible. I think that was the beginning, like that kind of taboo. Oh, you can't do readings over the phone, but yeah, you could connect with the person through distance easily, actually.
But is he asking like right now?
No.
Right now,
He's asking.
I'm trying to get off right now.
Experiment.
No, I mean like
That being said, since he is from El Salvador, Spanish is his primary language, and English he's not the best at, but he's communicating pretty well. So that he probably meant something else, but yeah, we kind of understood what he was saying.
With the reading that you're offering for 2025, you mentioned a candle, and I did see it on the post. So like, what is that exactly? So it's just like a candle petition that you're offering with it.
Yeah. So after the reading, we have like a better understanding of where you're headed, and of things that you need or want throughout your year. So I ask my clients, okay, tell me specifically what's the intention of what you want, either with love or money, and we could get the specifics of that. And then on New Year's Eve, I do the candle. So it's something I do only kind of once a year.
What does a candle do? What is candle
It
for?
helps you to whatever that intention is. It helps that manifest.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Yeah. And that's what I think a reading's supposed to do. It's not just give you your fate and destiny, right? It's tell you where you're headed, how to help yourself, things that you need to do to either
Did you hear
get
that?
you through it, right? Or
Was it sitting up?
prevent things from happening. So I think that's how you should approach
No,
a
yeah,
reading.
it was on
Or
it.
even after every reading, there's supposed to be some spiritual help or guidance, as we call them, tratados, or something that you need to offer your client for them to even to do themselves to help them, right? So that's what I think a real reading is, right? You have to also offer some type of help or tell them how they can help themselves spiritually as well. Yeah. Can't just leave them in
So
the
how
woods.
often, so how often do you recommend a reading for people? Like as many times as they want, or?
Well, some people call me all the time, right? And it's just spiritual counseling at that point, right?
Yeah.
But it matters their situation. It really matters what's going on. Some people just have one reading, they got all the information, they're good to go. Other people need to call you 2 weeks after and just to have more confirmation so they could feel like secure and make sure they're like walking the right path. So everyone's different.
That's cool.
It's cool.
But don't keep asking the same question over and over every day. Like you're just gonna drive yourself.
didn't make the first
Don't do that. Don't be one of those stuff.
Yeah. So can you tell everybody where to find you if they want to
Yes.
message you for that reading, for that special reading that you're offering now? And where to find you? And also tell them how to find this. Because I know, do you have any left?
I have a few left, not a lot, that's for sure. And it's getting mass published as well.
Yeah,
So
congratulations on
done,
that.
it's done.
Yeah.
Thank you. This will be my second mass published deck, and I'm working on my third one already. So
Nice.
Wait, what's the third one? What's the third one?
the Fox Crystal Tarot, I put a card in there.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Yes, you did. Yes,
So
yes,
it's like on foxes and a lot of crystal. So it gives you kind of the meaning of each crystal, and it syncs with each tarot card. So each tarot card has a different crystal, but you know what the crystal means by the tarot card.
Awesome.
So,
Cool.
Yeah.
but you could catch me on tarotbyemilie.com. My name is spelled Emilie. But Simplicity Lenormand, I don't know if I could write it. I can't write it. But you could just Google Lenormand or Simplicity Lenormand and it will come right out. But everyone could usually just catch me with Emilie Muñiz. You just put it in and all my social medias comes up. So Facebook and Instagram.
I think Jen
TikTok and stuff.
Yeah, everything's in the show notes.
yes, we look.
Yeah,
Yeah,
on the
Simplicity
description,
Lenormand.
and Jenny just put it in the comments as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
In the live chat.
Yes, absolutely. We want to thank you for being on and giving us
It was
information.
Yes, I had fun. I love that you talk. I love getting people that laugh.
I'm very sarcastic.
We're not so damn serious. I'm like,
I was like, I need to talk. I need to laugh.
thank you. Yes.
You know?
Yeah, I think you cleared up a lot of things for folks because I think a lot of people automatically assume that you have to be a psychic in order for you to do reading.
That's what I'm saying.
So I kind of like how you, excuse me. I kind of like how you explain that one thing doesn't necessarily have to do with the other.
Yeah.
Sometimes it does mesh, but it's not 100% like concrete.
And I learned.
I had a good time with you tonight. Thank you again for coming on. Like I had mentioned backstage, like I had mentioned prior to the show, definitely appreciate you because I know family and this time of the year and the holidays. And definitely appreciate you spending time with us, just chopping it up and hanging out. Appreciate you.
And I learned.
Everybody on the chat room tonight, you guys have shown up and shown love to Emilie. Thank you. We definitely do appreciate you. And the folks on Facebook too. We didn't forget about you. Thank you. Check us out. And I don't know. Any last things?
That's it for me.
Yeah.
I hope you all have a great week. Remember, show love to Emilie.
Yes.
Show love to her by following her.
And if you want to check out the deck, she has a few left. These are limited edition because now when they go to mass publishing, this version is not available anymore.
They're definitely gonna change. It won't. I don't know how it won't be all like this. I can tell you.
No
that.
foil, right?
No foil, and the book.
Are they slippery?
Oh, the book is beautiful.
What?
They're not slippery, right? because I have foil cards and they're like really hard to.
No, they're not slippery at all. It's the back.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
And it comes with like this big, thick guidebook that I
there you
don't know. Oh, there you go.
I love this book, bro.
And
The
it
illustrations
teaches
on
you
here are so
step by step how to read it. So if you don't know how to read, it comes with a guidebook, so you can
Nice.
instantly pick it up and fortune tell your own self.
Nice.
Just one last thing: you don't need to be gifted your
No.
first tarot deck to read tarot. So if you want to buy tarot, just grab a deck and buy it if it calls to you.
Cheaty, I think Jen linked everything in the description.
Yes,
Yes.
check the description box. The show notes, you'll see it there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, you can take Emily's word and our word for it because Jenny has it here. I these things before they go to like the big corporations and no shot at them, but the quality isn't as same as when it's, you know, the original edition, first edition type of thing. So
Yes.
definitely get this version of it because it looks awesome.
I
Thank
love
you. Oh, you made my night, guys. Thank you.
Thank you for being on with us,
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah.
Happy holidays,
Happy
everybody's
holiday
coming up.
I think we have one more show before Christmas, but happy
Mhm.
holidays to you all. Stay safe, be good. And we'll see you next Sunday.
All right, y'all.
Until then, have a good one.
Bye.
Deuces.
Bye.